my independent and compassionate Aquarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Aquarius, there's a particular flavor to the air around you this week. A faint ache, as if something once familiar lingers just outside your reach. It may be the echo of laughter from a time when things felt simpler, or the quiet hum of longing for a connection that once grounded you. In small moments you sense an undercurrent of nostalgia, almost as if your own heart is trying to remind you of something you've left behind. There's a softness here, but also a subtle tension. You might find yourself pausing, caught between the urge to reach back and the pressure to move forward. The world continues to turn, but a part of you holds onto an unspoken hope that what was lost or left unfinished might still matter. Beneath your usual clarity, there's a gentle uncertainty, an invitation to feel, to remember, to weigh the cost of what you carry. This week, that inner ache will quietly shape each choice, coloring the edges of every decision with shades of memory and longing. You find yourself standing in a space touched by the 6 of Cups. It isn't a loud feeling, not one that demands attention, but it's persistent. You might notice how certain memories surface more often right now: the scent of rain on warm pavement, the sound of a familiar voice, or the comfort of an old routine. These recollections aren't just nostalgia. They're a bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. Sometimes there's a sweetness in these reflections, as if you're gathering strength from your own history. But there's also a shadow, a sense that you might be holding too tightly to what used to feel safe. You could feel an urge to recreate moments that are long gone, hoping that their return will restore a sense of wholeness. Yet, as you move through your days, you sense the subtle friction between comfort and stagnation. It's tempting to stay wrapped in the warmth of what's known, especially when the outer world feels uncertain or demanding. Old patterns, old hopes, they tug at you, promising a kind of simplicity that no longer truly fits. But within this posture is a quiet wisdom. You're learning to honor the past without being ruled by it. Each memory that rises is an opportunity to understand what still matters and what you're ready to outgrow. The tension isn't a problem to solve, but a sign that you're alive to the richness of your own story. Inwardly, you may feel both tender and unsettled, aware of how much you've changed and how much you still yearn for something lasting. From this sensitive place, the path ahead begins to form. The very act of remembering, of feeling the weight and warmth of your past, nudges you forward. Longing and nostalgia stir a desire to shape what comes next, even if you're not entirely certain how. The ache of memory becomes the soil in which new possibilities take root. What you hold close begins to influence how you move, how you choose, and how you meet the world's demands. It's as if the soft ache in your chest becomes a compass, quietly directing your next steps, even as you navigate the uncertainty of change. As you step onto your path, the energy of the 2 of Wands makes itself felt. Here, the world no longer waits for you to reminisce. It asks you to decide. There's a tension building, a pressure between staying with what's safe and reaching for something untested. You can sense opportunities hovering just at the edge of your awareness, but they come with questions rather than guarantees. Do you risk stepping outside the familiar, or do you continue to let memory guide your hand? The momentum of your days picks up, bringing small choices that feel larger than they appear. You might notice yourself weighing options more carefully, aware that each direction carries its own cost. There is friction here, a sense of being pulled in 2 directions, nostalgia and vision, comfort and curiosity. The world seems to ask more from you, and inside you feel the push to respond, to choose, to act. Yet uncertainty lingers. It isn't only about what you want, but about what you're willing to leave behind in order to discover something new. This week, your journey is marked by restless energy, a readiness to move, but not at the expense of what matters most. Every pressure you feel, every moment of doubt or anticipation, is connected to the quiet recognition that you are not the same person you once were. The choices before you are shaped by where you've been, but they are not confined by it. The tension is real, but so is the sense of possibility that comes from meeting it honestly. It becomes clear that what's possible for you now depends on how consciously you meet this moment, the memories that call you back, the pressures that ask you to decide, and the friction that builds between past and future. None of these can be resolved by drifting. Growth here is not automatic. It waits for your willingness to witness your own longing without letting it dictate your steps. What you become this week will be shaped by your attention, your patience, and your readiness to bring both tenderness and resolve to the choices before you. Moving into the space of your potential, the Knight of Pentacles quietly arrives. This is not the energy of grand gestures or swift transformation, but of steady, considered progress. The invitation isn't to abandon your memories or leap recklessly into the unknown. Instead, you're offered the chance to bring care and intention to each small act, to treat your own life as something worth tending. There's a kind of dignity in moving slowly, in building trust with yourself through routine and commitment. Even as the world pulls at you, demanding decisions, offering distractions, you return to the daily work of becoming, one choice at a time. Growth here feels quiet but unmistakable, a sense of groundedness that comes from honoring the past without clinging to it, and from meeting each new day with both patience and purpose. The week offers you a chance to embody reliability, not just for others but for yourself. Every step you take, however small, becomes a way of rooting more deeply into what matters. The invitation is to let your actions reflect your deepest values, to trust in the slow unfolding of change. In this space you find not only progress, but also a kind of gentle pride, a recognition that you are capable of building something lasting simply by showing up with steady intention. Looking across the week, a story emerges. The sweetness and ache of the Six of Cups remind you of where you've come from, of the experiences and hopes that shaped your heart. The momentum and friction of the Two of Wands ask you to choose, to risk, to imagine a future that honors both where you've been and where you want to go. And the grounded invitation of the Knight of Pentacles shows you that growth is not about leaving the past behind, but about weaving it gently into the fabric of your present. You are not forced to decide between memory and ambition. Instead, you are invited to carry both forward, shaping your days with care and intention. The week stretches before you not as a challenge to overcome, but as a landscape to walk with honesty and patience. Whatever the pressures or uncertainties, you can trust that each step, rooted in both tenderness and resolve, brings you closer to a sense of belonging within your own life. There is no rush. There is only the quiet unfolding of a story that is uniquely yours, steady and true. Actionable insights for Aquarius this week. Let yourself notice which memories bring comfort and which ones weigh you down. Try making space for a simple routine that helps you feel grounded today. If a choice feels pressured, pause and check in with what still matters most to you. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I honor where I've been and how I've grown. I move gently through moments of uncertainty. My choices reflect what truly matters to me. With patience, I build the life I trust. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.